Alright, guys, Captain America Winter Soldier review. Winter Soldier is an incredibly action packed spy political thriller that stands apart from every other film in the MCU while being strongly grounded and connected to it in a way that feels natural and immersive. Uh, Other times in the MCU, things feel a bit shoehorned in here, that, as I said in this one, it feels very natural and immersive. The film has intense moments of paranoia, conspiracy, life altering events that echo throughout the rest of the franchise. It affects the past, the present of the entire franchise, including Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the TV show. Uh, you know, this film is a very strong one. Captain America's arc from beginning to end, it's very fleshed out over the course of his trilogy. Unlike like Iron Man, things get a bit regressive and senseless and not just nonsensical. Thor's doesn't uphold that strong either in terms of, character going from one place to another completely. But here, well, I suppose you could say that with Iron Man, but in terms of film, look, Captain America started off as a loyal soldier. He was loyal to his country and everything, and here he starts to question his own country. This is some real character development. Captain America is a man out of time, a loyal soldier fighting for freedom, but his government is setting in motion the kind of acts they used to be against. Steve's ties to the past are they're all but dead. I mean, Peggy's aged, and her mind, sadly, heartbreakingly, is on the way out. Uh, the visits to the museum, in which they have a whole area just dedicated to Captain America, uh, seeing footage of Peggy and Bucky and the way things used to be. You can really feel for Cap here. Sam Wilson, uh, the Falcon, is finally introduced in the movies, and they cast Anthony Mackie. He does a really great job. The Falcon costume here is a departure from the comics, but honestly, usually I'm like, who cares even if it looks silly? But in this case, this looks awesome. This looks amazing, and Falcon is really the performance here, the direction. It's exceptional. Uh, and there's also Steve's got this little list of things to catch up on that he's been writing down. Takes a suggestion from Sam Wilson, and you can see some of the things on that list. They differ in various countries where the film was released, but as little things like that that add touches of realism. Uh, the opening very early into the movie, they do an espionage mission. Captain America running, knocking around soldiers, pirates on this boat. All the fight scenes are exceptional. Like the way he just knocks around these soldiers with ease, but with force, such impactful force that they just get tossed all around. Just like one hit just sends them hurtling. And Black Widow gets really fleshed out in this movie, like in terms of as a person. The banter between her and Cap are pretty funny, and she's got a secret mission on this boat of pirates that they're here to disarm. Uh, and Cap is a little bit disappointed by the hidden mission. Nick Fury, they have a discussion about this. Nick Fury and the helicarriers that will there's an algorithm and that will predict and prevent crimes before they even happen. But it's like taking out people before they even have the opportunity, the free will, the choice to possibly go a different direction altogether. Uh, this kind of puts Captain America's point of view and Nick Fury's at odds. They have a disagreement here. But we also get to see like the Shield Council, you know, and they suspect foul play with the whole boat pirate mission, the whole pirating and the boat, the hijacking of it. Robert Redfield, I believe that's the actor's name, uh, and Nick Fury. Nick Fury gets locked out of files. Robert Redford's pretty much the head guy in charge of this division of Shield, and there's a council that he speaks to, and they have suspicions about the whole hijacking of the boat and the reasons behind it. Nick Fury gets a pretty strong scene. Probably the strongest scene he's gotten in all of the MCU yet, because it's a really lengthy action scene, and the talking car, the banter between him and the car, that's pretty funny, and him trying to get flight mode activated because as we all know, in the comics and cartoons and stuff, the cars do fly for Shield. Uh, and we get our first intro with the Winter Soldier here as he tries to kill Nick. Nick narrowly escapes. We get back to Captain America, our Steve Rogers. He's, trying to find his place in this new world, and he's been struggling. He's, like I said, he's a man out of time, and him and Black Widow discussed several times. It's like she's trying to get him to ask out girls and stuff, and pretty much make himself a part of this world that he's like hesitant to be a part of because everything's just so different for him. Uh, there's really a lot of character depth and exploration and little things that really make you relate and connect to the characters in various different ways. Uh, so Nick Fury ends up. Well, let's talk about Sharon Carter because she's introduced in this movie along with Falcon and Crossbones. All these are very well handled and exceptionally done. At first, Sharon Carter's just kind of like a neighbor, but secretly a Shield agent, Agent 13. Nick Fury, Cap finds Nick Fury in his little apartment, and then we get into the whole Winter Soldier killing Nick Fury and Cap trying to hunt him down, and that strong moment where he catches Cap's shield, tosses it back at him. Uh, Nick Fury's death, of course, spoilers. I'm sure you've seen this by now. If you haven't, then you got 3 seconds. One, two, three. Nick Fury's death is pretty much a fake out. And then he gave Cap some very incriminating files that pretty much flip everything upside down in the MCU. And Robert Redford's character can sort of tell Captain America is, you know, hiding something, lying about something. So this makes Captain America a fugitive. And the elevator fight scene is really funny. And it's like, all right, guys, before we do this, does anybody want to get out? That stuff was very awesome, very exceptional. Uh, and like I said, that after this, Captain America's a fugitive, and Black Widow's kind of tagging along with him because she found the file that he stashed, and the banter between them, it's kind of funny, and the tension between them, you almost feel like something could happen between them, like something is going to happen between them, but it doesn't. Even though Black Widow is kind of a whore in the comic books with the way she dates every single person, but the kiss was kind of funny between them. The they follow the trail of all this stuff. They follow the trail, they escape, and it leads to this sort of underground, old school, original Shield base. And there they find Zola in a computer. A lot of people complain about this, like it breaks the reality of the film because it's like a corporate espionage spy thriller, very, very ground, like very grounded in reality in terms of how it's handled so far. But you have to remember this is a comic book movie, and Zola is in a computer. So to complain about this, it's more of a. If you're not a comic book viewer, I can see where you. If you're not familiar with the character, I can see where you're coming from. But you're here to see a comic book movie, so The only thing that really doesn't make sense is why he didn't expand himself to other servers, why he kept himself isolated to this one area. But he tells them, and I guess my real nitpick about this is that he's just there to give them, you know, exposition, tell them everything that's been going on. That the big moment, another spoiler, get the hell out of here if you don't want to hear it. Three, two, one, is that Hydra has infected Shield from the very inside. That for years they have infested Shield, infected them, and Shield is no longer Shield. Shield is pretty much Hydra. I mean, it still has honest agents, but it's Hydra. And the algorithm that Zola has created, it's to predict and prevent, like, any all given situations, all threats, to eliminate them before they even become a threat. So here we find out, just the the huge ramifications of this. Uh, and following this, we get another thing that just flips Cap's world upside down, which is that Winter Soldier's death was faked, and Bucky's been alive this whole time. Some people have a problem with Bucky being alive, saying that it's impossible, that he fell off that train, fell to his death, and that they wouldn't been able to revive him. But you have to remember he was also experimented on by Zola. He was in captivity before he was ever rescued by Captain America, and before Captain America was ever really officially, a real life hero, a real hero, when he was just kind of a showman and all that. Uh, but Hydra has infected Shield, and like the Senator from Iron Man 2, he's Hydra. Agent Sitwell, who, as far as I can remember, first appears in Thor, is Hydra too, and he appeared several times. I believe he appeared on Shield the series a few times, as well as in a little short between Coulson and him at, I think it was like a diner. But you know, what happens here with Agent Sitwell? Anthony Mackie, Falcon, Sam Wilson, whatever, they take him to the rooftop and pretty much threaten him, and he's like, "Cap, you're not gonna do it. This is a joke. You don't have the morals to do this kind of thing or whatever." So he just tosses him over to Black Widow, and Black Widow just shoves him off the rooftop. But the first time I saw it, I was like, "Oh shit, is he dead? Did she really just kill him?" They're just standing there making small talk, and then Falcon flies him back up on the rooftop and throws him down, and then he's ready to spill his guts. And Sam Wilson as Falcon is really awesome. I mean, Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson and Falcon is really awesome. You know, when they were at the little original Shield base where they found Zola, which here's the big thing is Zola. He's there to deliver exposition, and then bam, he's gone for good. That that's the problem with it. It's not the fact that it breaks the film that's grounded in reality, because it's a film that's based off a comic book. So him finding a way to put himself in a machine isn't the problem. Him showing up just to deliver exposition, and then Bell be killed off or whatever. That's the problem. That during that time, they show the Howard Stark and everything. Like pretty much anybody that was suspicious that they wore Hydra was eliminated. And this is where we get the first peek of the Howard Stark, the thing that happened to Tony's parents. Uh, so Hydra carried on through Zola and others, and the whole cut off one head, two more heads grow thing, which is pretty much what happened here. Agent Sidwell on the rooftop getting tossed off though was hilarious, and what's even more hilarious is when they're on the way with Agent Sitwell, figuring out a plan, a tactical plan to get in to Shield. Uh, Winter Soldier just shows up and tosses his ass. And it never really shows if he's dead or not, but I'm pretty sure he is. And the action scenes that take place here are very, very lengthy and bit just intense, fantastic. Black Widow's tactics during this, like she really shows her strengths, like planting a little cell phone with the misleading voices playing, the voice recording playing, seeing this shadow from down below on the ground where he's on the bridge waiting for her to come out, waiting to blow Cap up too with a grenade launcher, and she gets the upper hand. Black Widow is really tactically skilled in this, and it's great to see that how that was handled. And I can't wait for her to get her own standalone movie already, because she's proven to be a really great, and I don't put much emphasis on gender really when it comes to this, unless the movie itself puts much emphasis on her gender, which they don't. So, and she's a pretty strong female character, and the movie doesn't have to throw it in your face that she's a strong woman and put emphasis on her gender like some movies like to do, or some TV shows like to do. But the realization for Captain America that Bucky is Winter Soldier, that is really powerful. Really powerful. And one thing mentioned too by Agent Sitwell is that, you know, the algorithm is supposed to predict and prevent, people that are going to be a problem, like Tony Stark or Doctor Strange. I think that's the first real mention we got of Doctor Strange. But, uh, anyways, Bucky has kind of seeing Cap face to face. It's starting to mess with his mind, and you know they try to brainwash and condition him, and his questioning of Cap, it makes it relevant to them that this is going to be a problem. But they're just trying to use him for at least one last mission until they can get these helicarriers off the ground that can eliminate anybody from anywhere. And this is no, and then we find out like Nick Fury isn't dead, which we all knew. Uh, Maria Hill, Sharon Carter, and the whole mission, the showdown between Cap and Bucky, where it ends, it felt very reflective of the comic book. Uh, Other things that happen in here, like Black Widow making confidential files public, it puts her and others in a bad light, but also, you know, it's the reason, I believe, if I remember correctly, it is the reason that Tony Stark finds out what happened to his parents. The little scene between Crossbones and Anthony Mackie, that whole showdown, that was good, but primarily the beat down between Captain America and Bucky, that he was willing to sacrifice himself to not fight his friend and all that, and I get that, thinking, having dead friends sucks. If you were to come across one of them, like, alive, you would want to do everything to try to save them, which carries over into the Civil War movie. But so many things happen in this movie, like, in the end, Nick Fury goes off to find the remnants of Hydra, and Shield is destroyed. All the helicarriers are destroyed. Cap gets a file from Black Widow, sets off on his mission to find Bucky. We get to see Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, the twins, in an end credit scene. There's just so much in this movie that happens that just sends out a ripple effect throughout the past and present of the entire MCU. This movie is easily a 10 out of 10. And 10 out of 10. So, like, subscribe, check out my other videos. Check out my GoFundMe link. I'm not monetized. I'll probably start putting PayPal down there soon. If you want to support my channel, feel free to. And 10 out of 10, Winter Soldier is probably hands down the best MCU movie. Some people will disagree with that, but and Captain America's arc is probably the best, most fleshed out arc of all the ones that have their individual trilogies out of all the heroes. 10 out of 10 here, man. Anyways, like, subscribe. Stay awesome. Rock on.